Well, it's inevitable. When real estate is in a very bad place for a very long time, which is what we've seen, like the peak of real estate pricing in Ontario was March 2022. So it's going to be 2026 in a few months. And that means we're headed for 4 years of price reduction in general. So how do real estate people react to that? Because for a couple of those years, the actual real estate activity fell off a cliff. They were some of the lowest lows of houses being sold by real estate agents in 30 years. And 30 years ago, there was like half the population that exists in Toronto and sort of Southern Ontario today. So it was a really, really bad time. And so it's just natural that as we're crawling through this sort of crawling over the glass of on your hands and knees or crawling through glass for 4 years that you would start to think, well, it should turn around. It's been a long time. It's going to turn around. And that's what we see like on some TikTok, on some Instagram reels and, good. Spring's going to go big. It's going to make a big, I think we even saw like some real estate board or some real estate companies are starting to publish like guarantees of, well, they sort of allude to it's a guarantee. Obviously, they're not writing a written guarantee. You will never get a written guarantee from any kind of real estate organization, but they're starting to talk about predictions of, 8% increase, 4% price increase, 18% unit sales jump next year, 2026, spring 2026. So is it even reasonable to say that? Does that even make sense? Okay. Well, let's look at the facts. So there's some assumptions being made. So there's the first assumption is that lack of new housing starts, because we're in a complete desert, a complete destruction of new home starts, whether it's condo or single family or towns or you name it. Like there's no construction starts happening for residential. Like in a province with 16 million people in it, if it's like 500 or 700 or 1,000 starts in a month, I don't even count that. That's the same as nothing. Okay. So very, very low starts, ridiculously low starts for a long period of time. And eventually with no starts, there's going to become scarcity. It's going to be like a scarcity crisis. Okay. I'll listen to that, but doesn't sound fucking rational. Okay. Because of this, that immigration is way down. And there's still lots of, first of all, condos. My God, there's condos coming, okay? They're not just condos coming for the next 2 years, 30,000 condos, 30,000 condos. There's a massive, the biggest surge in purpose-built rentals since in 45 years, in 50 years, like massive new inventory is coming on stream of purpose-built rentals. So, and there's listings are through the roof and rents are falling every day. So the question you got to ask yourself is, okay, I mean, is this lack of new builds going to create an enormous shortfall? It appears not in the near future, but let's think of some other things too. Because one of the other things that keep talking about, everybody talks about is, hey, the rates are going to come down. Mortgage rates are going to come down. And mortgage rates automatically guarantee, if mortgage rates drop, it automatically guarantees big increase in housing price and housing sales. It just guarantees it. That's interesting because the rates have fallen from like 6.29 to 3.89, and it was still terrible. Like sales are still terrible, and prices are still falling today in Ontario. Real estate prices still falling today. That's a big drop, right? Like 6.29, 3.89. Guess that theory isn't working for that reason. For many reasons, that theory's not working right now. So will the Bank of Canada, no, Ron, the Bank of Canada is going to keep cutting. Yeah, I expect one more cut this year. There's two opportunities. I even think there could be 2 more cuts next year. I don't think that's impossible. I think that's possible. But fixed rates may not cooperate. They may not go down as rapidly as the Bank of Canada will cut. And once again, people may not just jump on the bandwagon because rates are lower. Don't get me wrong, rates are lower is definitely helpful to the cause, but it's not guaranteed. And yeah, there is. People say, but wait a minute, there's pent-up demand. There's people who've been wanting to buy a house for years and they couldn't do it, so it will definitely get better and then prices will go up. Okay, you're right, there is pent-up demand. We're observing it right now. There's been an 8.5% increase year over year in September sales, but the prices still went down in September. They did. They went down, in fact, significantly. It was one of the worst price decline months. So sales up, prices down. What sense does that make? Okay, it's like this. The bad economic conditions. There is a run on power of sales. Okay, there's people losing their homes. God, it's terrible. Some of them are student housing people, but it's happening. It's just happening. Like the power of sale, number of power of sales on MLS in the TREB system. It's I won't say it's a hockey stick, but it's pretty close to that kind of a graph. It's going up fast, okay? Those houses attract low bids. Low bids create new comps in the area. New comps in the area are what realtors point to when they talk to their buyers about what they should offer. So that's the spiral down that inevitably happens at some point in a real estate cycle. Finally, there's a whole bunch of people who aren't buying anymore. There's no investors buying. Virtually none. Nobody's buying to flip a house or rent it out. Doesn't work. We got very few move-up buyers because the price of your home is falling fast too. If you're thinking of buying a bigger home, but if you're worried about your own pricing, that's a slowdown for sure. And we got the disaster in student homes that just keeps on coming. So is it possible prices could go up in Southern Ontario next year? Yeah, it's possible. I don't know. I doubt it, but it's possible. But if people say they feel it's for sure, they're wrong. There's no for sures about it. If people say they see the thing happening in front of them, start talking about multiple offers. Hey, I know a bunch of multiple offers on homes, and all the multiple offers were for less than the list price. Yeah, there were multiple offers, but they were for less than what it was listed for. So be careful, be cautious, be thoughtful about what you're hearing. And it's not, as I said, it's not impossible for prices on real estate in Southern Ontario to stop falling and perhaps start to stabilize next spring. But there's just as good a chance, if not maybe slightly better, they keep dropping.